Beautiful shot there. Oh, wow. Stop it, please.
Good evening and welcome to the Gandia Palace Hotel and the final of the Little Monster Mixed Doubles Open. Part of the Predator Pro Billiard Series, 10 ball is the game. Now to introduce the players to you. The first pairing, please give a big hand for ZHANG and Oliver SZOLNOKI. They are up against WANG and TEUTSCHER. The final is the best of 3 sets, with each set a race to 4. In the event of a 3-3 tie in the last set, we go to an exciting shootout. So for now, I'll hand you over to the official of the table, Mr. David Pearson. Players, good luck and like to celebrate.
Here we are in the final of the Predator Pro Billiard Series Mixed Doubles presented by Little Monster. Heard the introductions from Luke Riches. TEUTSCHER wins the leg, and he'll be first up to break. We will be joined shortly by my partner, Gethin Davis. This is Eric Orlovson bringing you the action for now. Referee just taking good care in the rack here. Reminder, it's a best of 3 sets. Races to 4. If the third set goes to Hill, we'll be going to a shootout. Seen a lot of 3-set matches in this tournament so far. A few shootouts. A couple shootouts in the men's open division in the quarterfinals. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz just advanced to the semifinals. And those will be available for you later today. Later tomorrow, pardon me. 10 ball going over the corner pocket. Nothing down and a shot on the 1 for ZHANG and SZOLNOKI. Looks like a 2-10 is going to be available early on. SZOLNOKI is a World Games gold medalist. His partner's a little lesser known. First time I saw her play was in Vietnam. I was very impressed by her play. Plays very aggressively. Haven't seen them play a match yet in this tournament. But their chemistry must be very strong, making it to the final of a very tough field here. Wang and TEUTSCHER won their semifinal match in a shootout. And a quick win here for ZHANG and SZOLNOKI, taking the first rack. SZOLNOKI plays about half the Pro Billiard Series events. This is his first final in any of his attempts. First final for all these players, actually, in any Pro Billiard Series. TEUTSCHER's best finish is the semifinals in the World 8-Ball Championships. Wang made it to the quarterfinals of the Little Monster Women's Open. SZOLNOKI with his first break of the match, going from the side rail here.
Yeah, ZHANG was breaking very well in the previous round. Semi-final.
Nothing down this time. Looks like the 8-ball might be blocking the top right. Seven ball, pardon me, but he does have a pocket there, so offensive chance for TEUTSCHER and Wang here. Just a little worried he has too much angle to really get close to the cue ball and draw out to the left long rail. There is room between the 6 and the corner pocket if he likes.
Yeah, he's brought it around nicely for Wang. Just on the high side of it as well, so checking into it will bring it back out into a very favourable position.
Four ball's a little surrounded by the 6-7, but decent amount of room over on the left side of the table. Wang's a very unassuming player. Just kind of plays simple, but really good timing in her stroke. Real strong fundamentals. Stays nice and solid over the ball.
Yeah, these two have really gelled together as this Little Monster Mixed Couples International Open has progressed. And on some occasions, they've not really needed to communicate too much with each other. They do seem to be with a very good understanding of each other's game.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to play doubles, especially under a shot clock. I mean, you know, in safe situations where there's more options, you can definitely have a little consult with your partner, but during run-out play, I think it's best to just shoot the shots that you're comfortable with. Could have got him a little closer here, kind of like playing some left spin on that to get closer to it. So big stroke shot coming up for Marco now.
Yeah, warming up, it looked like, for this one.
Yeah. High speed, got to control the draw perfectly if he wants to get good on it. Looks like he's going to back off a little bit and take a little more angle on the 6. I think that's advisable. Keeping the speed down is always Good plan.
Well, this is a key shot. If they make this with good shape, they will be in good position to bring this first set level.
First miss ball,
Oh,
but it's ended up about as good as possible.
took a couple of knocks. Got knocked by the 5 there, and a second one. And there it does, rolls on the third up against it, and doesn't give Team ZHANG ZHOLNOKI much at all, so do like the smiles between the two.
Yeah, looks like she can play the cue ball to the right of the 10, right of the 9 here. Back into the 10. Didn't get through it quite enough. Very aggressive offensive shot available in the corner, but I think they'll favor safe here, cutting the 5 into the 6 and trying to bring the cue ball back near where it is now.
That's a good call, Eric. They've just missed coming behind the 9. That would have been a very useful safety. However, now Oliver to the table. Has a bit of traffic down there with the 6 and 8 if he wanted to go for a two-way shot here. I think he is. He's called the bank.
Playing it with high though, so all in here. He's got it.
Wow.
If that tells you the approach that SZOLNOKI is going to take in the final. Another kind of underrated player that doesn't come up in conversations of best players in the world. But he keeps proving people wrong.
Well, I know that our good colleague Tim Derauter got to spend a good amount of time with him, even spending time with his family while over in Hungary. And I had the pleasure of interviewing him during his last tournament where he made it to the final, losing out to Niels Feijer in a very tough fought contest. So he does sneak under the radar, but he certainly can perform. And we can also say the same for his teammate, Muyan Zhang. Not so much under the radar where she's from, but certainly in Europe. And he's just come up against the cushion for Oliver's shot here.
Yeah, caught the points of the corner pocket there, completely changed the direction of the cue ball, but it's turned out okay. Yeah, I like Zhang a lot. I feel like she's a little more aggressive than most female players, and she's able to execute those high level difficulty shots. This is only her second or third Pro Billiard Series event.
Yeah, and she's a very cool customer. And they've played very well in this tournament. Both teams coming through really difficult semi-finals as well. So both peaking at the right time. This is a race to 4. Winner breaks, alternate breaks within the teams.
Big bank from SZOLNOKI on the 5 in rack number 2. Right in the heart of the pocket, not even touching a rail on the way in.
Yeah. And that
And
brings
this is what I
me
was
and
talking
Zhang to
about with
break.
her aggressiveness. Breaking from the middle. Nothing down this time. Chance for Marco.
Yeah, she does get a lot of power into that break. Gives every chance of a ball going down, but on this occasion not. Not the easiest of openers for Team TEUTSCHER, but
He's going to try the 10 here and try to get the cue ball back near the 3-ball stack in the top left corner. A little tough to draw it that much. Might be able to get into the 2. Saw about 5 early 10s in our semifinal match that we just did with Francisco Sanchez Ruiz and just off the mark there. Focus on the cue ball a little more.
yeah, I think that one ball has come into a very handy spot as well. Maybe he can bring it around the 6.
Yeah, kick and stick opportunity here for Oliver. Six is edged up against it, but not in a way. I think he has left the 1 to the bottom right.
No, and no real clusters to worry about. There is even a 7-10 combination towards the end of this layout, so
Yeah, 5-ball's going to be tough over on the left long rail. Good pot from Wang. Don't believe the 5-10 combo is available. They can get an angle on the 4 coming around 3 rails towards the 5. Don't believe the 8's in the way of that path.
yeah, and from the overhead there you can see clearly no path for the 5. It would be very, very tight for the combination. Wang just having a closer inspection of it.
I was going to say I'm surprised they're not consulting on this one, but here they go.
Yeah, always best
Alex.
to ask your opponent when they're going to be playing the next shot.
Yeah, I think the key to communication is just not getting anxious about it, just being calm and concise under a shot clock. So I want to give yourself enough time to execute.
Great close-up of
Is
the
over into the. Sorry, Gethin. Go ahead.
just saying, good close-up close-up on the concentration on Wang's face there. She made that centre pocket pot look rather easy, and this is where Marco wanted it. He wanted to bring this around. He was indicating 2 rails.
Wow, took his eye off the pot, wanted to get into the 5, did that perfectly. That's 2 missed balls now for Marco. Have to clean those up.
Yeah, agreed. It needed doing, needed to get into the 5. And Zhang looking to get up behind the 6 here.
quite there, but it looks like it could be blocked by the 8.
Yeah, Marco
2
pointing
rails
up.
now for Zhang.
Yeah, he also indicated that the cue ball will track up the top of the table if she plays this well, correct. Sorry, the 4 I mean, and what a kick and stick. The 4 may drop.
That would have been the call, but they didn't call it. Tough to foresee those kind of outside the box kicks, but that would have been the pocket to call it in. Unfortunate.
Yeah, you sometimes see them call pockets just as a form of insurance. The difference being now, the visit turns over to their opponents. Oh, and that rattled.
That's a pretty big miss.
Yeah, he needed to give that some force to bring the cue ball out. And even at that pace, the 5 has stayed in and around that corner pocket.
Yeah, it was a big one there for a 3-0 lead in the first set.
Well, the second inspection of the 7-10 combination. And this will be a useful time to pull one back in this opening set.
Smart path with the cue ball there from Wang. On a nice angle to attack this combo now.
This will be a good chance for Marco to put that recent miss behind him, and it will be all forgotten. And he is successful with the combination 7-10, and that will bring Team Wang TEUTSCHER back to 2-1 in this opening set. It's already shaping up to becoming a thriller. And they will now get the break. We'll look to push on here.
Yeah, Wang struggled a little bit on the break in the matches that I've previously done of hers. Doesn't hit them with real big power. Really looking for a way to make the 1 in the side. Pretty deep in the tournament, so she'll have thoughts about how to make that happen.
Oliver taking a good glug of his refreshment there as we get this 4th rack underway. And you mentioned Wang's maybe not got the most power, but she does get a good effect and result from the breaks. I've seen a few of her breaks throughout this tournament, and when she gets it working, it can be very effective. Well, the 4 rubbed the corner pocket, didn't drop, and the 2, 3, 4 have congregated in that corner. It took my focus off the 1, and the 1 ball, ooh, the finest of margins, could be on.
It's tight, but it looks like it is. Trying the breakout here. It's gone wrong. See how aggressive SZOLNOKI wants to get with this kick. He can lay right onto the 2 if he wants. Going behind the back like this, I have a feeling he will be.
Yeah, I did come out of that a bit unlucky. Needed to go into them to make something happen with that cluster of 3. Using the extension. A very delicate shot, Eric.
Yeah, this is okay here. Cue ball's leading into the top right off the left side of the 2. He can just push up onto it. I haven't seen one of these situations in a while, but this can become not literally a stalemate, but just kind of a tapping contest here in these situations. Both teams kind of looking to freeze the 2 ball, because in that case, the 2 or the cue ball will have to hit another rail. I think that one's frozen. Ref's going to have to be on top of this.
Yeah, referee just giving it a real close inspection.
I think he deemed that it's not frozen, so that makes a big difference here. Might have to go down to the short rail.
Yeah, good shot. 4-ball didn't move.
Oh, it was frozen. I haven't seen that rule come up in a long time. But now Zhang is saying, or pardon me, Wang is saying, I thought you said it wasn't frozen. So this is a mistake by the ref if it was not frozen, in fact. Ooh, he's just going to have to put the cue ball back. Wow. Let's get some video replay of where the cue ball really was.
Yeah.
Oh, he's saying just take it because it doesn't matter? Not quite sure what happened there. Well, it does matter because now he can go behind it and change the shot completely.
Well, a little bit of drama early on in our opening set here. The shot clock is ticking, Marco. You said you hadn't seen a tapping affair. I hadn't seen one for a while either, Eric. But now where the cue ball has leaked out to, maybe a thin edge and a little nudge on the 3.
Yeah, lay of the land's going to be changed here now.
Yeah, that makes it very difficult. But, I think maybe the one rail escape is on. Well, that changes things a little, but nice safety. Referee looking on closely. Okay.
Back into this tapping situation again.
Deja vu.
Real battle for the cue ball, for the 2 ball here.
I don't know if you noticed that, but straight out of a chair, Kim Zhang with the extension for Oliver if he needed it, his cue extension. Real good team play. Again, another fine edge on the 2. Another one rail escape, unless there is a thin edge sticking out.
Looks like there could be. Well, after about 5 innings at the table, the 2 balls finally dislodged from the 4, and advantage goes to TEUTSCHER and Wang here.
Yeah, these situations are very tough when you're in them. And although there was only the slightest of edges. The 2-ball came careering over to the left-hand side. And that gives Wang a good look at this. Oh, the cue ball just seemed
drawn
to...
this by a fair bit.
Yeah, it just seemed to deaden up off that cushion and go nowhere.
Marco's going to try the bank. Big shot here in the first set for Wang and TEUTSCHER. Just short. Marco coming over to see if the bottom left's been left. He has to take a second look. It's close. Oliver down on both knees.
Ooh.
That's a good angle from our crew there. Doesn't look big enough. Looks like about half pocket at best.
Yeah. Great camera angle.
Safe all the way there.
Yeah. Okay, just pointing at the top corner pocket. Sorry, pointing at the short rail for his teammate there. Going up and down the table, Eric.
Yeah, those kicks can go bad if you hit them at high speed, and she recognized that. Nice slow speed one there.
Great result.
Yeah, hit half the ball, made good things happen. 2-rail kick now for ZHANG.
Well, good hit. But still, you feel like Wang and TEUTSCHER are in the driving position for this rack. Well, offensively, this is on.
Yeah, I kind of like her letting him go here. I mean, I think the only play's in the top left. Good shot.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, might have just been discussing how close they wanted the cue ball to the 4. She was saying it's okay to leave some distance. Better percentage play overall, not complicating things.
A little
Didn't
rub
want
on
to run
the...
into the 7 here. Still on the 5.
No, I didn't want the rub on the 7.
Yeah, this needs a bit of left spin coming across to avoid the 6.
Oh, took a little chunk of the
Lucky
8
there. Trying to even the score line in the first set here.
Yeah, Wang not doing too much with the cue ball there. Maybe would have wanted it to come a little bit more, but you fancy that if he makes this 7, we'll get good shape on the 8.
Yeah, she's understroked a couple balls so far. Slight bit of nerves, maybe. First major final. Good recovery from Marco. Looks like the cue ball's leading into the short rail here. If not, she can draw back over to the left side. 9 passes the 10.
Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Just maybe took her eye off the pot, was stretching.
Yeah, I was trying to cheat the pocket to the thick side, I think, a little bit to make sure she didn't run into the 10. Had to add a little bit of left spin. But those are chances that they have to convert. And a chance for Zhang and SZOLNOKI to get on the hill here.
Yeah, and these races to 4-winner breaks format, you really need to not let your opponents stretch away. And Zhang bringing the cue ball off the cushion for ZHANG with a good look at this 10 ball. And this will get them to the hill in our first set, Eric.
Yeah, big miss on the 8 there. Really going to change the complexion of the first set going forward now.
Yeah, possibly the difference so far. A miss there from Wang and a couple of earlier misses from TEUTSCHER. Maybe the scoreline reflecting that. And that will keep the break with them. As we just see a great review of a couple of the key shots in that rack. Not really seen a big safety battle yet, but that little tap, 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 tap down the corner certainly gave us a little insight into where this match could go if we get a couple of gnarly breaks. So Oliver ZHOLNOKI and his partner Zhang leading 3-1, breaking off that first set.
Cut break from SZOLNOKI. Nothing down, but they've covered the 1.
Yeah, so it's not going to come to team Wang TEUTSCHER at all. They're going to need to grind for this one in the first set. They're discussing a position for the push shot, Eric.
Yeah, I don't mind leaving that window between the 2-6. Could lead into a spot where they can pocket it. If you push it over, kind of more where the 2 covers the 1. Right around there, like that. Small issue with that shot is they don't want to leave an angle where only the 1 is cutting into the 3.
No, but that's the route they've gone to leave the gap. And Zhang's just got down over the ball to have a look at it. She's now called Oliver over. Seems that she thinks it may go with a smile on her face, and
if it does, she'll shoot it. She likes shooting these offensive shots, but looks like it's not quite there. Marco getting down, seeing how close it is. It's very close. Another good angle.
Thank you, production guys. That is fantastic. Well, you can now see what all four players are having a close look at. The clock is ticking, Marco. I've had to say that twice now.
Good decision.
Yeah, I thought there may be a chance of a double kiss there. Avoided the double kiss and has brought plenty of traffic in the way.
Bunch of right spin required here to open up the cue ball. Half swerve as well. Probably called the 1 in the corner.
Yeah, the 8 dropped. That brings Wang TEUTSCHER back to the table. Not a bad spread of the balls either, to be fair, Eric.
Yeah, six or seven balls on the same side of the table. Not much movement overall. It's the kind of racks you need to settle into a final too. Just kind of get your stroke going, get uncomfortable pocketing.
Well, they're up against it in this first set, Eric, and they really will want to be converting this opportunity. We'll get them one closer, but their opponents will still be on the hill. But this is looking very good in our fifth rack.
Wanted to be straight ideally. Still a fair bit of room in the middle of the table. Marco just figuring out how to get back straight on the 7. 10 ball's kind of in the way of that path. Trying to spin the cue ball tightly back towards the 7. Did pretty well. Little in between as far as getting close to the 9 if she wants to hold one rail. She can power over 2 rails if she wants. I think she will.
Yes, she did, Eric, and that brings her closer to the 9 ball. And Marco just doing a double check with his teammate. And powers it into the long rail. Well, Eric, this first set is not over yet. Wang and TEUTSCHER bringing the scoreline back to 3-2. Their opponents on the hill. But in this winner breaks format, they will get the break. As we see that lovely shot from Wang, bringing the cue ball back to leave her partner with not too much to do to get her on the 10 and converting it very well. Still a few laughs between the players. Not on that camera view. Marco deep in thought about his break. The Netherlander will be looking for a good break here for a chance to bring this back to Hill in the opening set.
Seven ball's got a chance, not there. First chance of the set win for SZOLNOKI and ZHANG here. It's going to be a thin one on the 1. Try to weave the cue ball between the 3-10.
Yeah, Oliver, just taking a second look.
If he runs into the 2, it won't be disaster, or into the 10, it won't be disaster. Looks like he's trying to go into the 3 here. Can miss it on the far side. Didn't really like that one, but was in a tough spot regardless.
No, and it just seemed to pick up a little bit of the second knuckle of that corner pocket. I think she called the side pocket, but I may also see her just push the blue 2 past the 5 and bring the 6 in for cover, but she went for the pot, Eric, and makes it.
Yeah, she makes those tough shots at a very high rate. I'm excited to see her play more on the Pro Billiard Series. She hasn't had a real deep finish in the singles yet, but I think she's capable of it. Shot from SZOLNOKI, perfect with the cue ball. Just slightly hampered cueing, but has the proper middle part of the ball. Oh, she misplayed this. Looks like he can avoid the scratch. Oh, pardon me, the 7 is in the way of the corner pocket.
I was about to ask you about your thoughts on a 6-7 combination, but that will not be necessary now.
Oh.
Makes it with a few rubs on the way, but that cue ball has not come back completely nicely for ZHANG. However, it doesn't need to be. She was able to get the cue over the edge or around the edge of the 8, makes the 6 and leaves her partner in a nice position to float the 7 back up the table. Float the cue ball back up off the 7.
Yeah, all chances to take down the first set now. Well, straight here, Gethin.
Yeah.
I'm most close to the pocket, so doesn't have to worry about the pocketing part too much, but a lot to do on position here.
Well, he got as much as he could out of it, but it's not come down off this long rail. Didn't make it to the long rail. So, ZHANG, who's made some great pots already, not just in this match, in this rack, has this cut on the 10. Oh, Eric, makes it
into the thin side of the pocket. Nice.
And that will take the first set 4-2. Players electing, by the looks of it, not to take a break. As we see that lovely 2 ball in the centre pocket, followed with Oliver playing a good position, and that 5 again wasn't a gimme, this rack for them. They had to dig deep. And my apologies, Eric. It looks like they have taken a break. I would suggest that you and I also just take a quick break, replenish the refreshments. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back for the second set in this mixed doubles Little Monster International Open. Well, a warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this Little Monster Mixed Doubles International Open Final. You join back for the start of our second set. ZHANG and SZOLNOKI get the break, but also are leading 1-0. My name's Gethin Davis, and joining me, Eric Hawlison. Welcome back.
Yeah, excuse me, Zhang going from the side rail this time. Nothing down and a shot on the 1 for TEUTSCHER here.
Yeah, the cue ball was tracking daringly close to the bottom right corner. Has finished, appears to have finished on the short rail. Makes this a little trickier if Marco is to take this on.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to land the cue ball between the 8-10 here. Pretty thick, so able to take the speed out of it. It's close. Not there. Another tough positional shot for Oliver now.
Yeah, that one is very much tucked into the jaws there. Always difficult to judge and get the cue ball out for them situations. Yeah, I like that. Not trying to do too much. Does leave a shot for his partner.
Yeah, just took the safe route on that one.
Still a few smiles being shared between the two. Just before this second set kicked off, our cameraman was just picking up on Wang and TEUTSCHER in their chairs. They weren't really saying too much to each other while they were waiting for their opponents to come back. And look at the cue ball, Eric.
Yeah, that was a good pot there, and a chance to get back on the 3. Had to kind of risk the scratch, just ended up lining up with the pocket.
Yeah, anything but the scratch, as that cue ball was probably going to set up quite nice for the 3. And in a turnaround, Wang gets to the table with ball in hand. Oh my lord.
She might have gone off too. She did. 2 ball in hands in a row. Rare occurrence here.
Very rare.
Just didn't get quite enough draw into it. Whenever you hit those draws with a lot of speed, the cue ball tends to go forward a little bit first. You got to kind of shorten your follow through. But with ball in hand, she could have just taken a thicker angle than that.
Yeah, indeed.
A few mistakes coming in from Wang and TEUTSCHER.
Yeah, when that scratch was happening, I was just saying we were picking up a view of the team Wang TEUTSCHER, and they weren't really saying too much to each other. Of course, they were waiting for their opponents to return, but a small contrast between the two. I see Oliver and ZHANG sharing smiles a little bit more often at the moment. The scoreline may reflect that, but just little things in this mixed couples format. Calling the long 7.
Cue ball's moving a little away from the 9 here, but he can power draw over to the right long rail and out. SZOLNOKI takes a very square stance at the ball, more reminiscent of snooker. Makes him very stable throughout the execution.
Yep, and his teammate ZHANG putting him in perfect position here. And this, Eric, will get their account in the second set off. And we'll really start to ask questions of Wang TEUTSCHER.
SZOLNOKI to break in rack number 2. Went with the cut break on his first attempt.
Yeah, an exchange of scratches in that rack. Something you won't see very often at all, if we've seen it at all in this event happening, but got the better of TEUTSCHER and Wang. And again, body language suggesting that they're not so happy with the way this is playing out. But as you and I found out in our last match, Eric, anything is possible in this race to 4 format. Twists and turns, winner breaks. Fireworks could yet come.
SZOLNOKI from the middle this time was trying to hit it more squarely. Caught a little cut, ball down.
Yeah, 4 really hampering them. Maybe inspecting a good place to push. I cannot offer any suggestions, Eric.
Well, the stack on the right side is worrying me as far as pushing down to this end, but it'll be the toughest to get behind it from where they're pushing now, so I like this. Over top of the 7 too, so they can't really draw back behind that stack. Maybe a little too tough here. I think they might get this one back. Yeah, pretty quick. Just over top of the ball too much.
Well,
wasn't trying to get right over top of it like they did, I don't think.
No, our eagle-eye viewers would have caught ZHANG after that shot, just poking her tongue out at a teammate. I think they both realised what had happened. Again, good spirits between the two. And the one clips the blue 2 on the way down, pushes it into a more trickier position.
Wang saying she wants to go for it. She wants Marco to go for it. Pretty free track with the cue ball around 4 rails here.
Yeah, I did like your...
Play with it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I did like your earlier comment where you expressed that Wang said to TEUTSCHER, just let him free. I can't remember the exact expression, but insinuating just let him go for it.
Yeah. Might have to add a bit of left here. Increases the difficulty.
Well, it was a difficult shot. Played it in a way that the cue balls come back out to the centre of the the one balls come back out to the centre of the table and good distance. If he had made it, was on for the 2.
I had a feeling she might go for this Gethin. She's one of the most aggressive women's players, and she makes a lot of these tough shots too. Entertaining player.
Really, and played it in such a way that there was cover if it had hung out. Great play by ZHANG, and really gives ZOLNOKI a lot of reassurance.
Back for the side now.
ZHANG was just tracing out the line he suggested that his partner take for the cue ball. She's done just that. It's just come maybe the wrong side of the 4, so forcing it through with some left-hand side. Didn't need to do too much, but his pace has proved very effective. And Oliver's making our job in the box a little bit easier there, Eric, telling us where he wants it.
Needs enough draw here. Ooh, could have gone badly, but she's okay.
Yeah, that certainly looked like trouble when it was tracking towards the 7. It's not turned out too bad for the pair. And, you know, working together well, discussing even just with hand gestures where they want the shot to go. And both players obliging. This is really good, solid stuff. And really pushing on from their performance in the first set, to be honest, Eric.
Yeah, they're flowing good right now.
This is absolutely riveting stuff, Eric. We are... Well, I was about to say... ZHANG got to 2-0. Yep, scoreboard was just having a wee wobble. And, well, these guys have performed so well. I mentioned that both these teams came through absolute tough matches yesterday, both winning 2-1. And both deserving of this appearance in our final. TEUTSCHER and WANG are going to have to start digging deep now. They will be grinding it out from here, you feel. You can see from the close-up that 4 not wanting to stay put.
Great satisfied with this one. And it'll be ZHANG back for break number 3. Switching over to the opposite side rail now. She's gone from the back rail on both side rails. Looking for something. Found it with the 3, not quite.
No, looked like she wanted to tap it in with her cue. That would have been a foul. Oh, it really did think about it though, Eric. And where the 1 has ended up, well, more importantly, where has the 2 ended up? The 1 to 2.
Yeah, the only offense here is powering it back 2 rails between the 4-6, and it looks like they're going to go for this. Marco's thinking less draw. It's a big risk of running into the 5 in that case. It's less elevation.
What do you think of the options for safety? I mean, they could hit it full in the face and freeze the cue ball, but I don't think there's going to be much traffic to cover. Yeah. Maybe forced into going aggressive here, Eric.
I think so, and being stuck on the set, I'd want to try to make something happen. I mean, you don't want to get too overly aggressive, but I think just trying to turn the tide here is the best. Tough. Hit it pretty good.
Yeah, he did. And even though the cue ball contacted with the 5, I think he may have even left a good look at the 2, but that's in the past now.
Just not going to accept that ball unless it's absolutely pinpoint targeted perfectly. It's a funny team. They like laughing and just making light of the situation, even in the final.
Yeah, they really do not seem to have been daunted or fazed by the occasion. And it's good to see. It's also good for our viewers to see a different side of the players. They tend to really be isolated and insulated when they're playing by themselves. It's always good to get a different perspective. Going airborne.
Cue ball might end up behind the 9 here, but not quite. So another good chance for SZOLNOKI and ZHANG. And this will be to get on the hill with a commanding lead in the second set, and to take the match down.
Agreed, Eric. And if they are to get to the hill, you really would fancy them at that point. So we could be getting to the point where it's a must-win situation for Team WANG TEUTSCHER. But sat in their chairs, there's not much they can do about it, Eric. Needs to be careful with the cue ball.
Just narrowly missing the scratch. Everything going their way at this moment. Even running into the 7 last rack. Got a little bit lucky there. She's worried the cue ball's running into the 4 here.
Okay, the shot clock playing a little role. I do like the push on the 4 if it's passing the 8. What a lovely little touch there from ZHANG. And as you said, things going their way, but they're also making things go their way.
Yeah, for sure. Perfect contact on the 4 there. Bit of a tester here for ZHANG. Passed most tests in this final so far. Shot. Very good with the cue ball too.
Yeah, with flying colours she's passed. And really very few, if any, mistakes from either of these players. And both have been very effective from open play. Good communication. And it's always nice when your mixed doubles partner does what you ask and you're able to do what they ask. And that is rewarding them here with a good look at taking the hill in this second set. And will mean they only need to win one more rack to take this final. And well, at the start I wouldn't have predicted that. I actually thought the way these both were playing that it would go all the way. It still very well may go that way, but if it is, it's going to come from a tough grind from Team WANG TEUTSCHER as SZOLNOKI get to the hill very quickly. 3-0 in the second set. And Eric, it's starting to look like it's going to go their way.
Yeah, just playing very strong. Not much Marco and WANG can do. So that one miss on the 8 ball from WANG. Ball in hand scratch. A couple things that stand out, but really not many mistakes.
Just a quick shout before ZHANG breaks. Want to get in there quickly. Tomorrow we have the men's semi-final of the Little Monsters International Open. That will begin at 5 p.m. And before that, at 10 a.m., we have the Predator WPA Junior World Championships kicking off with the girls' event. Will be their semi-finals at 10, the under-17s boys at 12, and the semi-final of the under-19s at 3. So a full day of pool tomorrow. ZHANG breaking for the hill, breaking for the match. The 10 ball has gone, Eric.
Shot on the 1. Chance to get the title now. Toughest cue ball movement's going to be towards the 5. Little tricky to get back towards the 3. Got a good 2-rail angle here.
That 5 is in a tricky spot. We're just taking another look at it. Gets the cue ball through the 7-8 gap.
Getting straight on the 4 will work. Yeah, this kind of angle too. Come back 2 rails. Good shot.
One thing ZHONOKI's doing, he's giving us a good insight into how quick and the way he thinks. Drawing lines on the table for his opponent. He doesn't really hang about knowing where he wants the cue ball.
Yeah, they're just efficient in the way they communicate, which is important under a shot clock.
Did as you suggested, playing it off 2 long rails. Has a look at this 5 in the centre. Needs to be a bit particular in getting back out for the 6.
Cue ball's kind of drawing into the 10 here, but he can follow it up the right long rail if he wants. Went to the left side of it. Looking good now, Gethin. They can smell the finish line here.
They can indeed. They've worked really hard to get to this position, and also a testament to their play. They have kept Wang and TEUTSCHER quite quiet, which is easier said than done. Two on 1 rail, and this is looking rather good, Eric.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap, and they played a great set in the final, or great match in the final here. Good communication, good knowledge of the game, good execution. Great match.
You couldn't have said it better if I'd have tried plugging you. That was a fantastic match. And Muyan Zhang of China and Oliver ZHONOKI have put together one hell of a performance. They look like they've been playing together for decades. And they have beaten Wang and TEUTSCHER 2-0. Well, full congratulations. The players are still laughing between themselves. Just goes to show the way that they have gelled. This will be an unforgettable moment for the pair and a really important string in the bow for Zhang. Before we go to the presentations, just to remind you, set your alarms for tomorrow. We start off with the Predator World WPA Junior Championships. We have the girls at 10 kicking off their semi-finals. The boys under 17s at 12, the boys under 19s at 3, and we continue with the men's semi-final of the Little Monster Men's International Open. But we bring it back to this match now, the culmination of a great final. Loving the replay of the shots. My name is Gethin Davis, and as we bring you into the presentations, I'd like to put my thanks out to my good friend and colleague Eric Horlifson. It's been a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. We'll see you guys back for the semifinals and more junior action tomorrow. And stick with us for the ceremony if you like.
We should have the
Talk to you
ceremony
soon.
coming up. And we will hand over to our other dear colleague to present the silverware.
To the award ceremony of the Little Monster Mixed Doubles Open. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the Marketing Director of Little Monster, Mr. ZHANG Hongbing, who will be presenting the lovely check. Would you please join me, Mr. ZHANG? Now, it's been a great final to watch. I'm sure you've all enjoyed it at home. But now it's time to appreciate the winners one more time. 2025 Little Monster Mixed Doubles Open Champions. Please give a big hand for Zhang Yang and Oliver ZOLNOKI. And again, a big hand for our champions. And so that's about it for this year at the Little Monster Mixed Doubles Open Championships. It's part of the Predator Pro Billiard Series, and you can join us again next year when we'll see if this lovely couple can defend their titles. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. Good night from us here in Gandia Palace, Spain.